Logical progression. Logical progression. I was writing a date today on a piece of paper, and people have said things to me about numbers before, saying, you're good, and I say to them, I have a spiraling vortex of numbers above me. Numbers. Not even math. I'm not going to go so far as to say math, but numbers. And not even numbers with names, just numbers. The natural state that things happen in different quantities without needing to be named. Numbers. I got a vortex of numbers, a spiraling vortex of numbers around me all the time. It seems like I see things and it just, that's the thing we can count on. Without naming a number, without naming a quantity which stands by itself without being named, needing to be named. Without doing that, numbers are truth. Quantity, the way this whole thing works. Even if there is a God, we had Tony Miller, an angry man whose dad lost his arm in a school bus accident in World War II. He was a numbers man. The way we put names on all these numbers and start trying to figure out these equations, which, you know, there's always something wrong. Somebody later says, oh, I caught it. That's what's missing. But all that time we're living by this. We're doing it right now. We're living in this fucked up formula that humans are trying to figure out that doesn't need to be figured out to work. It just gives us a better way of killing each other. I guess it's all about power. It's all about energy. Energy. Logical progression. Like language changes faster than anything, to the point that we don't even know what we're talking about anymore. They should make language a science and push it on kids' shows, because numbers and all that, there's only one direction to go. Everybody's feeding off each other. You know, if you're right so far. If you're wrong, well, you got to accept it. Now you've had a paradigm shift. Now you've stepped outside of the box that you were living in growing up. You have found something. You're doing a paradigm shift. A paradigm, that's the box that they talk about. And so, if they did that with language, we could get to the point of telepathy. And, you know, sure, like going from a gas car to an electric car, and like automated cars, the automated car is the one I'm talking about. I'm hesitant because I really like to drive, but you're going to run into that with people if you try to make a science out of language and push it to the point that we can just do telepathy, which I'm pretty sure we probably could if we get everybody in line. At least you can read somebody's face, right? Back off! 6 feet. We got that ingrained in us. You just give the back off look and they say, oh yeah, 6 feet. And so, if you could do that with language, we would continue to understand each other. But the thing is, I like to talk too. I would also be hesitant to give up my ability to talk, just like going from my car to an automated one. I would be hesitant, but I'm not averse to change. I understand that when we're not good at something, we don't like it. And if you quit it because you don't like it, you're never going to get good at it. And I understand that when you are good at something, you like it. So all it takes is stepping over that little boundary of change. You know, at first it's like, and you remind yourself, I'm going to be better than I was. And you go forward, and you always remind yourself, and you tell everybody, I'll be all right. I'll be all right. Because you've never failed when you've stepped over that boundary. Everything keeps opening wider and wider and wider, and everything works. It just takes a minute to get to the point where you don't have to think about what you're doing anymore, and your mind can drift. That's what work is for me. It's a meditation, because I work really hard at not having to think about anything I'm doing. It's a meditation. Logical progression. So I write down these numbers today. I'm getting all this to you to make you understand that these are just numbers, and who knows what month of the year it is depending on who named it, right? Fine day on the Chinese calendar to kill a pig. You know, we didn't have that here. Maybe that comes in a couple weeks because of the time change. I don't know. Logical progression. I write down this date today. 7/22/21. Because you don't do it military with the civilians. You know. 22 JUL 2121. You see 7/22/21. And I'm like, why does that mean something to me? It means nothing at all to me. I know it doesn't. But it's taking on some kind of meaning. And I'm standing here right now, and I look, and I see the calendar on the wall, and I see, well, it's July, and it's the 22nd. It's a Thursday. Thursday. What are the odds that Mary Magdalene, according to the Farmer's Almanac today, it said Mary Magdalene. For some reason, it doesn't say anything else about that. It must be a day they gave to her, but they don't want to say, congratulations for your whoredom. You really made our fucking savior. Took the edge off, you know, made it easy on us. So here on Mary Magdalene's Day, the 22nd of July, 2021, it's on a Thursday, which is Thursday. So I like to imagine that if there is a heaven, or a what do you call it, Valhalla, or Asgarth, whatever you want to say, that right now, Thor, which Thursday is named after the god Thor, I like to imagine that he's fucking the Mary Magdalene and she's enjoying it, and oh Jesus, he's always working. Logical progression. So I get home and I see the 22 on the calendar in front of me, and then it flashes the 7/22/21, and I think, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? And it flashes across my mind. 7/22/21. There may never be a 7/22/22. we may be going backwards. It gives you a sense of backstepping when you go to the 22 to 21. You see, maybe we're going backwards. Maybe next year it will be 7, 22, 20, and then 19 and 18. And the way I see it, the way everybody's talking about, not everybody, the way it's being said, people are talking about how that guy's coming back in August. It's getting close. But you know what? With this logical progression, in reality, the 7 would be involved, but I'm cheating it, and I'm going 22, 21, 22, 20, 22, 19. I'm doing a blip of a logical progression thing. I'm leaving the 7 out. I could find a way to make that work too, but I wasn't planning to. I just got here. And maybe it's true. Maybe he is coming back in August. But it's going to be 17, 7, 22, 15, 17, 7, 22, 13. It's going to take 19 years in this weird energy state that we're in right now, backstepping through logical progression to get to the year and the time that poor guy is reinstated in August, like a week from now or something. It's not going to happen a week from now. It's going to be 19 years back. And he will be, I suppose, reinstated posthumously, because he can't make it another 3 years with his... He can't. Logical progression. We're moving forward now, logically.